Welcome to Thinking on Your Feet Mathematics, Week 4. Today we started off with an activity where we're using bean bags. So we used these bean bags, and what we did was I get the kids to hold them in different ways, and we're working on some reflex integration. So we're looking at two reflexes, the symmetric tonic neck reflex and the asymmetric tonic neck reflex. And these are important reflexes that have to do with opening up your eyes, your mind. So for example, when you take an infant and you turn their head to the side, the arm will go up, this one will go straight. And what happens internally, the idea is that now you are perceiving sound. Since you have turned your head, you're perceiving sounds that it's coming from there. You turned your head and your body reacts a certain way. It also, you're viewing things a little bit different. You've turned your head, and so everything has to get processed. Same thing with the STNR. When the infant, when you move your head down, the upper body flexes and the lower body extends. And so it does the same thing. When you extend the head, it goes like that. So these reflexes are a wiring that is wired into every one of us when we're infants, and as we integrate that, it allows us to process the information. We know where in space, how things come in, where am I, and we make connections on that. As with all children, they need time to learn those skills. Some of them have done it well. Trauma can really upset the system, and I have lots of kids on my caseload that when they start turning their head, when they're having to do things, they just have a really hard time. Their body's always moving, and they can't just separate their head movement from their arm movement. And that can really impair thinking, that can impair concentration. Turning your head like this, that kind of thing, it's hard for some people. Still a very common thing when and people are shoulder checking in their car, you have this tendency to kind of move your arms because your head is turning this way, and you can just see that that's not so integrated so well. We should be able to freely move our heads and not have to move our arms. And that's kind of the idea here, that we're trying to work on integrating these. And we found out that the kids had a little bit of hard time. I was actually surprised that as they were doing this activity, some of the equations were quite simple and they struggled. They had to hold it this way, or at first I got them just to put it on the back of their head, so they extend their head, then had to hold it with their chin, that's STNR, and then crawl along. Then we did this where they had to crawl along, the asymmetric tonic neck reflex, working on that, and then on the other side. And some of them just, for a moment, it was just like, wow, they couldn't think. And so it turned out that was just an excellent activity, because now they're having to learn, integrate that reflex, thinking on their feet. They had to figure out how they're going to do that, hold that beanbag and concentrate. And so their processing, it required a little bit extra. And so they had to go through some extra learning process. And that's really going to help them out in the long run, I think, to be able to process with those other physical things and be able to concentrate. So I try to find different activities. I try to be creative. I try things. And just like for this program, I don't know how it's going to go. I kind of sometimes, just sit in bed and just kind of, okay, well, what are we going to do today? And I come up with some ideas, and sometimes they're a big flop, and sometimes they work out okay. But this one worked out okay. I think at the end, we did an activity of flash math. That one still needs a little bit of work. The kids enjoyed it, but it was hard to do it in a small space. Then we went to the table. We are doing just review of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and just kind of to warm up. And the kids have been using their rods. Some of them have gotten more practice than others. Some of them are older, some of them are younger. They need a little bit more support, but overall they're slowly learning the concepts, so that's encouraging. Then we moved on to missing equations that has missing parts. So this is sort of an example. I have a light green, and what do I need to add to the light green in order to get orange? And so they're trying to process, well, how am I going to figure that out? How am I going to do that? And as they see the rods in front of them, that can work out quite simply. But I found that sometimes they would just kind of look at it, and instead of just taking the rods and figuring it out, because the rod's going to, when you take the orange rod and you kind of go, whoa, and you put it beside there, it's very clear that, you know what, there's a black one that fits in there. But they tried to take the shortcut and tried to figure it out before they used the rods, and they had a hard time with that. But all of a sudden, once they got the color, then it was really easy to figure out. And so that's the benefits of using these rods, that they can do those kind of things. That's not hard, is it? Like, just, okay, what's missing? Oh, of course I know that's missing. It's very simple. And so we worked through that, and they had their aha moments. That took a little bit of time, and I have to be patient, and I kind of want to push things, but it took some time, and eventually they did get that. So that was good and encouraging. Then we worked on brackets, so just learning the concept, so that if I have a yellow and I take away a red, and I take away a red again, so that's a yellow with two reds on top, then obviously that's white, is the same as taking a yellow and then a red, and a red would make, I have to do that first, so a purple, and so a yellow covered with a purple is the same thing. I end up with one white. And again, it took them a little bit of time, but they enjoyed that, and I think they got the concept and learning how to spend a little bit of time writing the brackets. It's probably something that they need to do a little bit more and figure it out, but it's hard to do that in the video because we're trying to be active right now and not emphasize paperwork quite so much. In the last activity that we did today, it seemed like the session was very long, so I cut out some things. I had planned to do some other things, some more multiples and subtracting multiples, and that's kind of the challenge. Sometimes I think they're going to go real quick, and sometimes the challenge, and that's a challenge for all teachers. How far are we going to make it? And so we moved on to fractions, and it's pretty straightforward. We are using just very simple the blocks, and kind of the idea here is that a red, and I divide that into two whites, so two whites make a red. A red is twice as big as a white, but what is the white? The white is half as big as the red, and trying to get that concept. And they picked it up quite quickly, and it went very well. We just started off simply with thirds, and then went into halves, and then continued to the white is a third of a green, trying to give them the language. Then we went on to purple. By the time they're purple, they're kind of, okay, that's a fifth, that's a sixth, that's a seventh, that's an eighth, and they had it all the way to 10. There was a lot more to work out, but we just wanted to build a foundation and an idea to get the language of that, and we'll be working probably next time on how to write that down and how to bring that across a little bit more. Then we went on to some practical work, trying to work division, trying to work some multiplication into that. And so what's this all about? Trying to very practically say those things. and figure out, so a girl has 8 cookies. She has 2 friends and she wants to give away all the cookies. And how many cookies do her friends get? And so of course they get 4 cookies each. And then try to make it a little bit more challenging. I have 4 crayons left. I lost half my crayons. And now, how many did I start with? And they figured that out pretty good. And so, of course, they started off with 8 crayons, and just trying to get more practical with bringing those fractions across. So that was a good start today. Then we worked on what I call flash math. It was somewhat of a okay activity, and the idea was that I wanted to get them to, that they would think quickly and really pay attention. So I was just going to flash something and they would have to really watch what they're doing. I also got them to go on their 4s. That's a really good position, or even on sort of a sphinx position where it's a good reading position. They stabilize everything, have to stabilize their shoulders, stabilize their head, and they can concentrate well. They did okay. It was hard with the space. They couldn't see sometimes, and so I would just kind of flash them a number like a 3, and then I would say plus, and I would flash them a yellow, and then they had to figure, okay, what's the answer, and how to get them to do it in a group, that they don't just blurt out the answer, and then the kids that are not so quick don't have to think. They just follow the answer from the older ones, and so that was a challenge. Then I switched it up a little bit, and I put some numbers all over the room, and then they had to crawl there. Then I put them a little bit further. They had to walk there or run there. And so that would be a great activities to do outside in the summer. Today we had a blizzard, and so we were just happy to be inside and to be warm. But that one has a little bit of work to do, to make that activity more interesting for them and more challenging. So that was it for Thinking on Your Feet Mathematics Week 4. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that can be a help to you and your kids. Hi, we're at Week 4 of Thinking on Your Feet Mathematics. We're very thankful today to be inside because it's a blizzard out there. And we're going to start off with a beanbag game where the kids have to hold the beanbags in different positions and try to crawl on their feet and build an equation. So let's get them split up. I've put them into 2 teams just because we're in very tight space here, and we'll see how that goes. Now for this one, you put the beanbag on the back of your head. Go on all 4s. Go on all 4s. You have to concentrate because you can't drop the beanbag. Okay?
Hands up there.
Then you're going to crawl to the rods. You are going to build the equation.
Yeah.
Go.
Don't drop it.
Ingy, you got to build it over here in the corner. Bring your equation over. Okay. Okay, are you done? Okay, you can just leave your equation there and go back. Are you ready?
Yeah. Is it an equation too?
Okay, purple and purple makes... Red and yellow makes... Now we're going to switch things up. Instead of putting the beanbag back here, you have to hold it under your chin.
That's a lot easier. Yeah.
Under your chin. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to crawl with it under your chin. Don't drop it. Are you ready? Okay, so here is your equation. Dark green, take away purple. Go.
Don't build it there. No, 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 you can't hold on to your beanbag. You have to use your... All right, good try, Ingy. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Pinch that beanbag. Not easy, is it?
It's actually very hard.
Gotta really pinch it in there. Okay, you ready? Blue, take away light green. Tan, take away light green. Go.
Boy. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, this is gonna be super hard. That's kind of easy. Ready, guys?
Okay. 3 reds make...
Do it.
3 reds make...
You can jam it right back.
Is it short? Yeah, so what do you need?
A white.
No, you don't need a white. What does the black is too long? What are we gonna do to change the black? All right, good job. Gotta really pinch. Okay. 3 greens make 3 light greens.
You can do it some. Good job.
4 reds make
'This was the worst one. I like the chin one.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 3 people, line up, okay? I'm going to give you 3 equations. The first one is for the first person, the second one for the second person, the third one for the third person, okay? For this competition, you're all gonna put the beanbag on the back of your head. And so you need to build it over here, then crawl back and slap the person's hand to the next one. They will go and build and they will go back.
Sorry.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, the first 3 times red. No, wait. The second person 2 times green, light green. The third person 2 times purple. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, you got your question?
Yes.
Okay, ready, get set, go. Guys, go. Okay, go. You gotta go whenever you get the beanbag. You don't have to wait. What was the question?
I know it's not right.
2 of purple.
Yes. 2 times purple.
Uh-huh. 2 of purple. Okay, good job. We can see that it was quite difficult for the kids. I think the kids could have easily done those equations. We've done them all before. But with the added aspects of crawling, the added aspects of using those neck muscles, and it was just it was just a huge challenge for them. So we'll have to keep practicing, and I'm sure they'll get it soon. So we're going to move on to our table activity now. Do a warm-up now, just like we did in our game. So let's do a simple one. Red plus yellow is...
No.
Okay, is that the same as? No, okay, you gotta fix it. Same as what? Good. Okay, so, everybody got that? What was the answer token?
Blue. Blue.
Blue. Okay, good. Next one. Now we're gonna do some subtracting. Okay? So this is covering, so make sure you put it on top.
Yes.
Blue, take away red, and take away purple. Okay. So what do we have left if we get blue and we take away red and we take away purple?
I know.
What do we
Light
have?
green.
Light green? Okay, can I see it, Aksa? Okay, good. Good. Okay. Token having a little bit of trouble there. So it's blue, take away red, put it on top. Put it on top of the blue. On top, because take away. Minus. Take away purple. So when I say take away or minus, they all go on top, no matter how many. If I have 100 numbers, right? And I say take away red, take away green, take away that, they all go on top. Does that make sense? And what's the answer token?
Blue. Or sorry, light green.
Okay, so let's do one more. Orange, take away white, take away red, and take away light green.
I know. Got it.
Okay.
Purple.
Wait. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay, Ingy, what is the answer? Purple. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit of multiplication. Everybody put their stuff back in. Okay, 2 reds make... Two reds make... Let Ingy finish. 2 reds make... Okay, what do you have, Moses? 2 reds make purple. Everybody have 2 reds make purple?
Yeah.
Good, all right. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
3 greens make...
Light green.
Light green.
I know.
Okay, what is it, Ingy?
Blue.
Blue. 3 light greens make blue. Okay, now we're gonna do some cutting or dividing up, okay? Brown or tan divided by red. How many reds can I put into brown?
I know.
Now just wait. Just wait, build it and put your hand over top of it. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay, Solomon, how many reds can you put into brown?
4.
Okay.
Okay, we'll put it on the top, put it on the side. No,
For divide, I said put it on top. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so that was our review. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different because now we're going to have, these are called equations because there's an equal sign, right? So we have this plus that equals that. So we have green plus, but this time, instead of not knowing what the answer is, we don't know this one.
Yeah.
And so now we have to be smart and tricky. It's a little bit tricky. So we got green
You
plus
minuses.
what is equal to orange.
So green
Can you
minus
guys build that?
Yeah.
So you need
Light
orange
green.
and a green,
Light
but
green.
what do you need to answer, add to light green to make
I know.
orange?
I know.
Can everybody build that? Okay. So we need orange, Ingy,
I know.
and we need a light green.
No, just cover it.
And I have a light green, but I'm trying to get to orange. What do I need to get to orange if I have light green?
I know. B. You need B.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit tricky. We have to think because it's not just adding. We kind of have to, we know our answer, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you build it, you can kind of see, right?
Yeah.
As you're building it, you go, I have orange, and I'm going from green, but what's my missing part? So it's kind of like a minus question, right? So I need to get to orange, but I have gone as far as green, but what's gonna be the different, what I'm gonna need is black. So, okay, let's do one more of those. B is what? Black plus something makes big B, which is
Can I know?
blue. Okay, can you guys build that? Nope, build it, just take your time and build it. Plus something makes B. What is needed?
Brown.
Okay, you ready? Okay, Token, what do you have?
Blue.
Okay, can you give me the sentence?
B plus red equals
Black
black plus red
makes
B.
makes blue. Good. Okay, so that was our adding. You guys kind of got that? Maybe we need to practice a little bit more so that flows a little bit. Okay, so here now we're going to do a minus question. So this is a little bit tricky. I have a number, I don't know what it is, and I'm going to take away, I'm going to cover it with a P. Okay, so I need a purple, and in the end I will get a D. Okay, so I have something, and I take away a purple, and I end up with a D, which is dark green. I've got purple, and in the end, when I take away from wherever, I have this left, so they're going to go side by side. Okay, so what is that I'm going to cover? If I take an orange, we can just try it. I take orange and I couple it with purple. What do I have left? I have D, dark green left. So our answer is going to be orange. That's pretty tricky, isn't it? Okay, so let's try a few more. Okay, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a B.
Blue.
No.
No, black.
Black, and I'm going to take away something from that black, and I'm going to end up with a yellow. What do I need to take away from black to come to yellow? My answer is yellow. Yellow is what's left over at the end. And I need to cover the black with something. And then I have yellow at the end. So what do I need to cover it? That's right.
Red.
Really good. Red. Very good. Okay, try not to look at others.
I'll just put
Very
this one
good.
here before and then.
Okay? So it's important when you do these questions that first of all, just get the rods. And then try to figure out how to put them together. More. Okay? Here we have a tan. And we are covering it with something, but the end result will be that we have a white left. Okay? So everybody try and build that and cover it. So it's tan. I'm covering the tan with something, and I have this left by the end. So what do I need to cover the tan with? So everybody look up here for a second. What do I need to cover the tan with that I have a white left at the end?
I know.
Okay. Everybody lift your hands. What do you have, Axa? I can't see. Okay, good. Did everybody get B?
Yeah.
Okay, B.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I start with the white, and I am going to right? How many of white? That's going to be this number to get tan. How many whites to get tan?
Brown.
Do I get to make brown or tan? 8. Okay, so that one was one that we're very familiar. But when I write it like this, it's kind of hard. You kind of go, "Wow, I don't understand," right? And just try to build it. Now remember that when we have, this is a little bit tricky, and we haven't discussed this too much. When we use of, it doesn't matter if this number is first or this number is first. Okay? So it doesn't. You can turn this around. It doesn't really matter.
I know.
Do I need to make orange? Can you build that? How many reds do I need to make orange?
I know, Dirk.
Okay, How many reds do you have, Solomon?
I have 5 reds.
5 reds. Okay, good. So we'll make a 5. Now, you'll find that when we do this kind of thing by switching things around, multiplying and dividing, there's no change.
Yeah.
Because you can always switch them. So let's do the divide question. I take a blue and I have to divide it by something and I get green. Okay. So that's enough to make your brain boil, but what's the answer? How many greens?
G. 3.
3. And G is 3 too.
Yeah.
Okay. So last one, I have an orange and I'm cutting it up into, I don't know how many times I'm going to cut it, but it's going to be red times. So how can I do this one?
Look at most.
Ingy, try to just take how many reds go into orange. You have just go get some red rods. Get some red rods. So how many red rods does it take, Ingy?
5.
5. And if instead of writing 5 here, what's the color of the rod that's 5?
Yellow.
Yellow.
Why?
Yes. Whether I say 2 times 5 or 5 times 2,
Same thing.
is it the same?
Yeah.
So the lesson is when I'm dividing and when I'm multiplying, it doesn't matter what number I do first. Right?
That was easy.
Yeah. So, but that's something to learn. What's 2 times 3?
2 times 3 is 6.
6. What's 3 times 2?
6.
6. It doesn't matter. Okay? Which one I put first. So that's a big lesson. Okay, so let's get out our writing papers. We're going to do a little bit of writing now.
There's
Okay?
one thing, and that.
So we're first going to build it, and then I'll show you. Can everybody put yellow, take away a red, and take away a red? So can you build that? What do you have left, Moses? Got to build it.
White.
Okay. Okay. Now, what we do in math sometimes, we use what are called brackets. Now, when we have these curvy things, what they mean is that anything on the inside of those brackets,
Goes first.
you have to do first. So instead of doing this minus first, you have to do this plus first. Okay? So let's build that. Red plus red. Can you add that? What's red plus red? What is it?
Purple.
Purple. So let's get rid of those 2 reds and just put a purple. Okay, so I've got this, Ingy, okay, from our last one. Let's build our new one. Red, we have red plus red is the same as, what's red and red? What is it? Purple, right?
Yeah.
So can somebody pass me a purple? Okay, so instead of having I put the purple on top of the yellow. Okay, and what do I get?
White.
I still have white. So do you guys see? This over here, yellow, take away red is
Purple.
white. Right? The answer would be white. Here I do red and red make purple, and I take that away from that, but in the end, it's the same thing. You guys see that?
That's
And
how I write it.
We do it in math sometimes. We use these brackets
Go
to
back
let us
down.
know we have to do this first, and that's very practical. Let's just build it. B, take away D, take away W. Can you build that? Can everybody build that? Okay. Get your B, D, and W. Anybody who's got an answer. Build it. Ingy, quickly. Build it. Blue, take away dark green, take away white is...
Oh.
So big B, that's a blue. And I'm taking away, but first, before I take anything away, I add a dark green and a white. So what's a dark green and a white? What's a dark green and a white? Can somebody tell me?
Black.
black. So that turns into a black. And so I'm taking a dark blue and I'm taking away a black. What's left over?
2.
What's left over?
Oh.
A red, 2. That's right. So the answer to this one is 2. And the answer to this one is 2. It's the same
We had
thing.
the wrong question. I thought that you meant that dark green line.
Okay, so it's just a matter, it's very simple. All you have to do is do this, what's in the bracket first. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep learning that. It'll take a little bit more. Let's move on now. Okay, can everybody build for me blue divided by light green?
Which one?
Can everybody build that? Right. Green is equal to what? What's the answer?
3. I know. 3.
3. Very
They're
good.
the same.
Everybody got that?
Yeah. Ingrid, you did it wrong. When you're doing, you put it on the top.
Okay. Can you build it? I want you to build it and don't move it. Okay? Okay, everybody have that in front of them?
No, this way.
Axa, I want that in front of you. I want to see it in front of you. Okay? I'm going to put one in front of myself. Okay? Here we go. We have blue, and I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to divide it into 3 equal parts. How big is each part? 3. Now, the next question is, which one is bigger, light green or blue?
Blue.
Blue is bigger. Now, while we have to think, how many times is blue bigger than light green?
3 times.
Yeah, everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I compare these two sizes now, right? This is the big one. 3 of these makes that.
Makes
But-
it the same. Yeah.
But this one, when I say how small is it?
It's too small on its own.
1/3
Yeah.
of
Blue.
blue. 1/3. Does everybody get that?
Yeah.
That's what we call fractions. We already can see what it is. There's 3 of those, but we use the term 1/3 because I can put 3 of these into that. Does that make sense? Good. Let's look at another one. Okay? Let's use the green, and we're going to divide it by white. How many whites go into
3.
3 whites go into
So
green?
1 white is 1/3.
Okay? So the white, when I compare it, right? Green is 3 times as big as white, but white is 1/3. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Ingy, you have to build it, okay? So you can look at it, okay? You can look at it, and you can play with it and touch it, okay? Let's do one a little bit different, okay? Let's do a green, a dark green, and let's divide it by red. How many reds can I get
3.
into dark green?
So 1 red is 1/3.
So a red is 1/3. 1 red is 1/3 as big as that, as big as the dark green. Everybody got that? Okay. Let's take a purple. I want everybody to build you. And I want you to divide purple by red.
2 times. So 1 red is 1/2 of purple.
I want you to take a purple.
Can you write it?
No, just leave it. Just listen for now. Okay? Now, do you see how 2 of these? And so when I look at the sizes, purple is 2 times as big as red. But red is 1/2.
Bigger than. than.
Does that make sense?
Small.
Can you say a half?
Half.
Half. So that just shows you the parts that this is 2 parts, so we call it a half. Okay? So let's try one more. Purple. Again, how many whites do I can I put into a purple?
4.
4. Okay? So I can put 4 whites into a purple. And what would you call that? A white compared to a purple is?
Divided.
Just put up your hand if you know. What's it, if you have one, there's 4 of these, what do we call that in English?
1/4.
1/4. Okay? So if I have a white, a yellow and a white, how big is a white compared to a yellow? Ingy. Ingy, try and look at there here. Ingy, watch. Now I'm using whites to build that. How big is a white compared to a yellow?
One small one.
It's a small one. But when I had the purple, right, it was 1/4. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But here it's 1/5.
1/5, that's right, 1/5. So Axa, what would it be for the one that's 6? 1/6. And Solomon, what would it be for what is it for the black?
7. 1/7.
And Moses, what is it for the brown?
1/8.
1/8. Tiki, what is it for the blue?
1/9.
And what is it for the orange?
1/10.
1/10. We're going to do some practical questions. Okay, so these are a little bit tricky today. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Token has 7 birthday cards. Okay, and she wants to give one away every day. And she gives one away for 7 days.
We don't have enough whites. We don't have enough whites, but
How many does she have left?
0.
Zero.
That is
Good.
both 7. Those are both 7.
Good. Okay, so that was an easy one. Okay, here's another one. We'll start off easy. You have 10 eggs. Okay? And you give them away to 10 friends. How many eggs does every friend get? 0? 1 egg. Okay, so you have 10 eggs and you give one of them away, but you have 10 friends, so everybody gets 1. Okay? Now, if you had 5 friends, how many eggs would each of them get? Okay, but she listened to you, and so I need you guys to put up your hands and not blurt out answer because Ingy didn't learn that.
Yeah.
She just listened to you, okay? So, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 10 friends, okay? Now, if you were to have 10 eggs, and before you had 10 friends, and everybody got 1, and if you had 5 friends, everybody would get 2. Now listen carefully, put up your hand. If you had 2 friends, how many eggs would everybody get?
I know.
Build it. You have 2 friends, like that, right? And how many does everybody get?
2. 5.
5.
Yeah, I
Okay.
knew that was 5, but I just didn't know how to build it.
Yeah, but that's you're kind of already kind of guessing, right? But if you don't know, then you can just say I have 2 friends, and so I have to divide it into 2s, right? Into equal parts of 2. And so I just build it like this, and so then I know that how many parts do I have? 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. Does that make sense? So every one is going to get 5 eggs. So a little bit tricky. Okay, let's do another one. A girl has 8 cookies. 8 cookies. Okay? So she has 2 friends. Right? So she's going to cut it in half. And how big is every half? Token?
Purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 ways we could do it again. We could just cover it in 2s and see how many, or we can cover in purple. Okay, last one. Everybody listening? Put all the rods away. Okay, put your hands on the table. Okay, listen carefully. I lost half my crayons. I have 4 crayons left. No blurting out answers. How many crayons did I start with? Build it. Try and build it.
8.
Okay. I have 4 crayons, right? Half. Remember, half is 2 parts?
Yeah.
So if this is half, what's the other side going to be? What's the other half going to be? How many is the other half? Is the other half going to be 10?
No.
What's the other half?
4.
4. So if I have 2 halves, how many crayons did I have altogether?
8.
That's right. That's right. So if I lose half my crayons and I have 4 left, I had 8 crayons to begin with. Okay? A little bit tricky. Okay, we're done at the table. We got one more quick game to play. So I'm going to put some rods down and I'm going to flash it real quick and you guys, and then I'm going to give you a question and you have to try and figure out what it is. Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah. In the back up.
Ready?
Yeah.
Divided by,
I know. It's 3. I know. 3.
okay, Solomon is 3. So what was it?
3. Green divided by
Green divided by
red.
red. How many times can I put red?
3 times.
3
3
times.
times.